I'm doing right now, I think what I'm involved with is trying to put mana back into the teachers. Hawaiian teachers are burnt out. Hawaiian teachers are so caught up in trying to fulfill the mandates placed upon them that we're not considering our own free will. We're not considering our own beliefs and our own ways of doing things. The Ahakaulea represents a body that discusses those issues and actually holds the state accountable like they hold us accountable to their test scores and to their standards.
As a charter system, we're really proud to report that we see a lot of success with our program model. And for example, last school year, we had the first graduating class that we saw 100% college acceptance, and that's a huge deal for us. And we know that we're going to do that this school year again. But there's always a underlying tension because we are a part of a state system. We are required to meet state standards. When you ask us what was the founding intention to establish ourselves as Hawaiian schools, the intention really was to get back to that large idea. What does a Hawaiian keiki look like, and what does a vibrant, thriving Hawaiian society look like? We persevered and persisted and said, no, we're going to dig even deeper into what it means to be a Hawaiian school, what it means to be a Hawaiian teacher, and what it means to be a Hawaiian student.
So I think that's the first achievement that we've come to, is that over the years there have been many difficulties to work through, but right now as long as we focus on what's better for the keiki, what's better for our lāhui, I don't think we'll ever have a problem in the decision making. On self-governance, as far as the political governance, I think that opportunity will afford us is time, patience, and if we fail, if we fall, then we can pick ourselves up, dust each other off. We not only can make our own decisions, but we can trust ourselves to look for a Hawaiian decision.
When I think about self-governance and the potential that it holds for resource management issues, I think we have a huge opportunity to be able to do things the right way and to be able to do things in a culturally appropriate way. Many of the systems of governance for our natural and cultural resources today were things that were imposed on us that come either from the state of Hawaii or from America that have a fundamentally different approach to resources as commodities, as opposed to part of our extended ohana. One of my proudest moments in the project that I've had the greatest privilege in participating in has been in Waiʻeha, Maui, where Earth Justice worked in strong partnership with the Office of Hawaiian Affairs to return diverted streams to their communities of origin. And this was a significant accomplishment, not just in a legal sense because it upheld traditional and customary Native Hawaiian rights and practices, but also in a practical sense because it resulted in more water being returned to enable the communities and the people with really the boots on the ground and in the lo'i to be able to restore our practices and live our culture.
Can we really own these lands? A great Maori guy says it's really we who are owned by those lands. Management, control, stewardship. We've even heard that perhaps stewardship isn't the appropriate word as well. We use the term kinship. We really have this kinship relationship with the lands. Maintaining agriculture in Hawaii is very important to Kamehameha schools, and we're committed to those agricultural lands that we own to continue to be able to produce food for our lāhui, then also to produce food for Hawaii itself. We've had tremendous accomplishments in growing new leadership. When I started at Kamehameha Schools 10 years ago, when there were different positions available, and there weren't necessarily a high representation of folks from our lāhui. So we spent quite a bit of time developing place-based, aina-based educational opportunities to really begin to develop that next generation, or the current generation, if you will, of folks that have the skills to manage our lands, to manage our resources, and to take care of them.
And so I think if we have the opportunity to mold these institutions for decision making from the ground up as opposed to from the top down will have a fundamentally different approach that will enable us to, continue here on Maoloa into the future.
And when you look at the issue of criminal justice, it's criminal justice and beyond, looking at systemic change and collective impact. And you look at the overrepresentation of Native Hawaiians incarcerated, and it actually hurts my heart. And it's not an issue of us and them. It is all us, and it's a very complex problem.
The initiative that the Office of Native Hawaiian Partnerships is starting is to bring a number of stakeholders together and for us to convene around this issue.
We want to perhaps approach our various partners, public-private, in a way that focuses on being part of the solution and that how we can work shoulder to shoulder. We work with a lot of women at the Women's Community Correctional Center, partnering with a lot of other organizations interested in developing strong kids, strong families, and strong communities.
What I've tried to do for the past 10 years through my research and other initiatives is to have us move away from that narrative that Hawaiians are angry because they lost their land and therefore they're poor and therefore they commit more crimes, and to really look at the way that we can self-determine how we want our future to be. We can have hard conversations and not run away from them or from each other. Stick around when it gets hard and go through the tunnel instead of turning around and running the other way. I think there's a big transition that's happening in our lāhui, and I think it's two generations really converging. I think as our new leadership blossoms, our kupuna are able to guide us. As a Native Hawaiian, I mean, even just in my day-to-day, I want to be able to self-determine how I live. As a collective lāhui, of course we want that.
This is all about trying to bring about solutions, because what's the end goal? The end goal is to build strong kids, strong families, strong communities. And I guess that's where we want to put our efforts.
And so that's what I hope that, that's what I think the opportunity of self-governance is going to afford, is that we can finally dream freely and open our minds, believe in ourselves, trust in ourselves, fall together, get up together. That's where I think the future is going to take us.